Yes, children, welcome to the chemistry class. Now we are going to discuss water availability to the humans. So, according to the scientist, more than 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water. In addition, water is present under the ground too. But interestingly, only little amount of world's water is found to be useful by the human beings. This is because most of the water on the earth is in the seas, oceans, and the water of oceans and seas are highly salty, and this is unfit for, and this water is unfit for drinking. So one more thing, the great mountain ranges of the world like the Himalayas are covered with snow and ice. The ice may be slowly moved down the mountain slope as a glaciers, and 3/4 of the earth's fresh water, that is water that is not salty, it's called fresh water. So what is fresh water, children? The water which is not salty is fresh water, that is which is useful for the household, domestic and drinking purpose. And this water is stored in the form of glaciers and ice caps. See, all the water on the oceans are 97%, but water on the mountains, that is fresh water, is about 2%, not even 2% also, 0.5% and 1.98%. So, approximately 2%. And from the lakes and the soil moisture is about lakes from 0.007 and from soil moisture 0.005% is readily accessible fresh water, that is readily available water. Next comes to the need for potable water. So what is potable water? The water suitable for drinking purpose is potable water. So what is drinking water? Potable water is water which is fit for consumption by humans and other animals. It is also called drinking water. In reference to its use, water may be naturally potable, as in the case with pristine springs. So these are the springs which are free from all the germs, and or it may be treated in order to be safe. This pristine springs contains treated water, that means it contains all naturally minerals. So for industrial and domestic purpose, water should be clean. In addition, water used for human consumption, that is drinking, cooking food, should be safe. So that is, we require some water, that food to drink is potable. The water suitable for drinking by human beings is called potable water. So to be considered fit for human consumption, it is necessary to given the sample of water for the treatment, whether it can be used for drinking or not. So the potable water, that is drinking water, is transparent, colorless and odorless, contains sufficient amount of dissolved oxygen and salts, and it is free from harmful microorganisms and chemicals. The various natural sources of water contain different levels of impurities. In seawater, dissolved materials represent about 3.5% of whole. We might place rainwater is also some amount, it contains some amount of dissolved carbon dioxide and solid dust particles. So water is used as an ingredient in many processed food, so that can greatly influence the microbial quality of food. So wastewater can be recycled for irrigation, for agriculture. Chlorine treated potable water should be used in processing, washing, sanitization as an ingredient. So potable water does not contain coliforms, that means germs. Coliforms and pathogens are what? Germs. So it can contain other bacteria capable of causing food spoilage, that is Pseudomonas, Acinetobacter and Flavobacterium. So improperly treated water can contain pathogen and spoilage of microorganisms. So this is water purification. The source of water determined that has to be done to make it fit for use. Surface water will require the most treatment, particularly if it is in the river distant from its source. So water is first treated in a big purification plants before it is made available to us by the municipal corporation. The main process involves in the purification of water is the water from the lakes or rivers are to be sedimented, filtered and chlorinated, and then it will be supplied to the human purposes. So rainwater, first it will be sent into the coagulation and fluctuation basins. So here what happens, the sediments and impurities that are present, that are coagulated, and then again it's sent into the sedimentation basin, that is where the sediments impurities will settle down, and again polymers will be sent, and polymers, that is fluorine and all, will be sent, and this water is pumped. Then disinfectants and fluorine gas or fluorine is pumped into that, so that the germs all were present in the water will die, and then it will be sent into the corrosion control. So here corrosion control, they will give the temperature so that the water will be heated, and then it will be taken into another tank that will be supplied to the houses. That means that water is safe for drinking. So water collected from the river is made free of large pieces of dirt and pumped into the reservoirs. So water is collected in large tanks where the larger solid particles will settle to the bottom as sediment. Sedimentation can be speeded up by adding substances such as alum, that is potassium aluminium sulfate, and slaked lime, that is calcium hydroxide. And then after that it will be sent into the water is run off at the top of the sediment tank without disturbing the solids at the bottom. The water goes to a filter tank. Pipes run across the bottom of such tank to collect water. After it has been filtered through sand and gravel, a green slime known as algae grows on the top of the sand. Nearly all the harmful bacteria are killed by this algae, that is algae called chlorella. And next it will send into water. Passing from the filter tank is treated with chlorine or fluorine to kill the rest of the bacteria, that is called chlorination process. Water is supplied to the houses and factories by huge water mains. So this is about water treatment process. So at home, water is often treated again as backup. The simplest domestic procedure to kill bacteria is boiling. So there are other properties of water that will be discussed in the next class. Okay children, bye, have a good day.